Hello, this is Johnny Chisholm, and I would like to demonstrate the new CPTT, or Conservation Planning Training Tool. This tool replaces the Environmental Evaluation Planning Tool, or EEPT. This tool was developed in Arkansas as a training tool to train new conservation planners. However, it can be used by any planner to develop the CPA 52 for planning purposes. When the tool is opened, it will open to the CPA 52 page. The first time it is used, a security warning will appear at the top of the screen, and the user must click the Enable Content button to enable the macros. Once the macros are enabled, an information message will appear warning the user that the tool was developed for training purposes and must be approved by the state resource conservationist before it can be used to develop official CPA 52s within a particular state. It also warns the user that they assume all responsibility for accurately documenting the results of the environmental evaluation according to policy. This tool is not approved nationally and must be reviewed and approved by each state before it can be used for developing official CPA 52s. Click OK to accept. If the content is enabled, a message will appear asking, "Do you want to make this file a trusted document?" If the file is trusted, the user will not have to enable the content in the future. If the file is not trusted, the user will have to enable the content each time the file is open. Note, at this point, all resource concerns for all land uses are listed on the CPA 52. Also note that a list of the planning steps appears on the right side of the form. These steps are listed to guide the planner through the conservation planning process as they complete the environmental evaluation. For this demo, we're going to use the planning process in the following scenario. A client comes into the office interested in getting some help. He has several cropland fields and his production has been decreasing over the last few years. He uses a conventional tillage system. Some of the fields have a stream that runs through them, and he has noticed increasing sediment in the streams. He wants to know if you can help him. You suggest that a conservation plan might be helpful. You tell him that you will come out and review his farm and conduct some inventories of the natural resources that are present there. After he leaves the office, you begin the process of creating a conservation plan for him. Let's look at the steps you will follow to document the environmental evaluation for the conservation plan. We've begun the process by determining his objectives and have started to identify problems and opportunities. On the CPA 52, we will document the basic information such as his name, the identification of the farm, and his objectives. Note that the need for action can only be determined after the benchmark conditions are evaluated, so we'll leave that portion blank and get back to that later in the process. Next, we will select the land uses in the plan and the resource concerns that generally will need to be assessed on his farm. Click the Select Land Uses and Resource Concerns to be Assessed link in the list of planning steps. When the planner clicks the link, they are taken to a form where they can select land uses, modifiers, and other factors that apply. We can select the applicable land use, in this case, crop. Then we'll also select any applicable modifiers or other factors, such as surface waters are present, nutrients are applied, and pesticides are applied. Once the land uses, modifiers, and other factors are selected, resource concerns that are recommended to be assessed are highlighted in green. At this point, since no resource concerns are selected, all resource concerns are selected by default. If any one or more resource concerns are manually selected, they will be the only resource concerns to be assessed. At this point, the planner may select the resource concerns that need to be assessed based on their judgment, discussion with the client, or conditions that were observed in the field. The planner might also click the Select Recommended button to select all the recommended resource concerns to be assessed. If the planner selects the recommended concerns, they may also add additional concerns to be assessed or remove some that are recommended, but in the planner's judgment do not need to be assessed for this plan. In this example, wind erosion is not a concern in this area, so we will unselect wind erosion. Since some of the fields are near the stream, they might have a ponding and flooding concern, so we will select that resource concern to be assessed. Once the planner has selected the resource concerns to be assessed for this plan, they should click the Prepare Form button in the upper right portion of the window. The planner will be taken back to the CPA 52 page, and only the selected resource concerns for the selected land use and modifier combinations will be shown on the CPA 52. At this point, the form is ready to document the existing or benchmark conditions, but the planner should first conduct resource inventories in the field, then analyze the resource data using the CART tool or the planning criteria to determine which of the assessed resource concerns actually are a concern. The planner should save the worksheet with the producer's name. Click Save As, select a folder, and save the file, then close the worksheet. Let's move on to step 3, inventory the resources by looking at the farm in the field, and step 4, by analyzing the resource data with the planning criteria or CART.